Hey everyone, this is Michelle
And Rob.
over here at Bunebape, and today we're going to be going over our strategies going into Leagues 4. And first, before we get into that, though, we are going to do a quick little overview on what exactly Leagues is. Not super in detail, just a quick summary, though.
Yeah, mostly for anyone that doesn't know what leagues is, but essentially there's just going to be a ton of tasks that you're going to go through, try to complete them as best you can with accelerated drop rates and accelerated XP rates. The reason we're not going to really go into this too much is because OSRS and Solo Mission together put out a video that does a really good job overviewing and explaining not just the entirety of what leagues is, especially leagues 4, but also what the starting relics are. So if you're interested in like not
Super
knowing,
detailed.
yeah, not knowing what leagues is and want a really friendly beginner guide like overview thing, then I'd recommend that. And links for that, as well as everything else that we're going to talk about, is going to be in the description below.
Yeah, we also do have a RuneScape podcast called Bunebape as well. You can find on this channel where we've been going over leagues as updates come out like every week. So you could also listen to it on there. Shameless self promo.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, we're gonna kind of go over our plans for leagues.
Yes.
One, because I think it'd be interesting to see at the end of leagues if we stuck to it. And I think we did this last league as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also to, I guess, give anyone that might have like no idea what they're doing going into it, because I actually looked up like leagues strategies uh like for a few hours today, and it was actually kind of hard finding things
Yeah.
besides, I mean, like people made videos here and there, but there honestly wasn't that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured maybe some people will be either a little more prepared like myself or a little less prepared like you.
Yeah, I'm not the most prepared.
Yeah.
So, because I'm not the most prepared, do you want to tell us your plan first?
Sure. And speaking of, like I said, I was looking around. I have a little, well, you're not going to be able to see this, but I have a list. It's two-sided of stuff that I want to at least be aware of and or just straight up plan on doing.
Okay.
So I haven't been planning for weeks. There's not days of planning going into
Well, I mean, the
this.
past couple days we've been planning.
The past couple of days, I've been thinking about it and like, no, the way I would want to do it ideally. We'll see if I actually stick to it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll quickly go over this, and it's actually by quest. So I'll tell you,
Oh,
because like I want to start off by doing quests. Spoiler alert: most people are going to start off by doing quests
I will
because
also be starting on by doing
that
quests.
is just a lot of experience. You are going to get 5 times experience starting out. So that's a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well, that also carries over to quests. So that's why a lot of people are going to start them. But my quest list isn't all of the beginning Iron Man quests because you are an Iron Man. It's a quest that I think will have the least requirements and least competition among other players. So you might hear me say the first few and realize that sheep shearer is not in those. It's because me, as well as everyone else in the world, might also be trying to shear sheeps at the same time, and I don't want to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I'm going to be starting off by doing Cook's Assistant, Mistland Mystery, Restless Ghost, X marks the spot, and then also you can go to Zenaris and you get a free drum and staff from the league's tutor. So make sure everyone to do that. And then you can go to Zenaris and then go to Karamja for Imp Catcher because you're going to need the
Oh
beads.
yeah.
Obviously, you're going to take the fairy ring to
Mm-hmm.
there, so that's that's why you need to do that. Then I'm going to do Gertrude's Cat, Daddy's Home History Quiz, Rune Mystery, Vampire Slayer, A Poor Sign of Interest, and then that's it.
Those are all in Misthalin too, right?
They're all in Misthalin.
Huge.
Yeah, you start off in Misthalin and you have access to Karamja right away, and then
Yes.
you'll have to unlock the new areas after you get to a certain point threshold from doing an amount of tasks.
So presumably after all those quests, you'll be able to unlock your second area.
Yeah, I think by that point I would be able to unlock my second area, which is going to be the desert. And you do only get 3 areas to unlock out of the 10 total. You have two, like I said, Misthalin and Karamja, and then 3 additional.
Mm-hmm.
So my first one is going to be the desert because, like I said, you are an Iron Man and you do need money. And what's a better way of getting money than just straight up cash? So
Yeah.
agility pyramid it is.
I mean, you're gonna be getting crazy agility there too.
Yeah, a lot of agility. Decent amount of money. I think it's like 200K an hour or something like that, which is a good starting amount because I'm gonna seek getting some. The thing is, like, I need 100K because I still plan on buying a dragon longsword. You can buy a dragon longsword from an NPC
Daenerys.
called, like, I think it's like Jukat in Xanaris.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's 100k. So
Okay.
kind of a lot. That being said, it's going to be one of the best items early on. Like I said, you are
Yeah.
an Iron Man. The only other way to get dragon weapons early is through Soul Wars, which is actually a really good option as well. People make sure to look into mini games because people are going to be playing them. You have access to Soul Wars mini games from Misthalin.
I was gonna say, is that Misthalin? Okay.
Yeah. On top of that, after that, all the quests are done. I really kind of just plan on getting base 40s or 40 to 50, depending on what skill it is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, I want to knock out a Soul's Bane quest because that does give you a bunch of health and armor. So hopefully, I'll have
Oh,
the requirements for that.
okay.
Besides that, like I said, base 40s, especially for wood cutting, fletching, and fire making, because I'm going to take, of the 3 starting relics, I'm going to take Production Prodigy.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them like what that is real quick if they don't know?
Yeah, sure. So Prodigy, you have the selection between Endless Harvest, Production Prodigy, and Trickster. The one that I'm going to be choosing allows you to, all the ores you smelt, bars you smith, fletching you do, cleaning herbs, making potions, cooking food, and crafting of any sort practically, you will complete the entire inventory of loot in one
Yeah.
tick.
You go to do like cut one gem and you cut your entire inventory.
Yeah, exactly. So it is nice.
Easy.
You do get the XP from all of that. So that's what I plan on doing, is trying to just knock out a bunch of that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is really the thing that I kind of want to stress to people is, while you want to have fun and stuff like that, if you are looking to get a certain rank, or if you're trying to do like raids and stuff like that, or just progress, I would highly recommend, and this is what I'm going to do, is focusing on tasks early.
Yeah.
So I have all these quests that I want to do, but I really, after that, I'm going to be focusing on getting tasks done, because the higher tier you get in throughout the league, the more XP multipliers you'll get throughout the league, and drop multipliers you get throughout the league.
And the better relics you'll get throughout the league.
Exactly. Better relics, as well as access to more areas. So overall, it's going to help you probably get towards your goal, unless your goal is to just hang out in Misthalin most of the time.
Yeah.
Besides that, I do
So go to
have,
the desert you were at.
yeah, so go to the desert.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my plan ends, more or less, which
Phase
is,
one of the plan.
yeah, mostly because it is kind of hard to have a plan not knowing all of the relics, although they have, at this point, this is the night before Christmas, as it were.
Yeah, it starts in like less than 12 hours.
Yeah, pretty soon.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard having a plan because they have released all of the relics, the names of them, but we don't know what all of them do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard being like, oh, which one am I going to choose, and like, where am I going to go with this, until you know exactly. And also, we don't know what tasks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have like a general idea of what I want to start out. And then I also have some things to look out for, is to get to tier 2 as fast as possible. That'll give you options for teleporting around Gilnor very
Yes,
easily.
just very important.
You have Fairy Flight, as well as the Globetrotter one, and Fairy Flight makes it so that you can teleport to any fairy ring, and also any sorry, they have it right here, and as also any spirit tree, and actually really cool, any tool leprechaun.
That one's interesting. There's leprechauns all over.
Yeah, really, really cool. So that'll allow you to teleport directly to Fossil Island and stuff like that. So really helpful. And the Globetrotter will allow you to teleport to a lot of other places, kind of like the jewelry box,
Yeah.
as well as spellbooks. Then for tier 3, I want to focus on Banker's Note, which will allow you to note and unnote anything you'd like at will with an item in your inventory. So that means infinite prayer potions if you have enough of them, or food if you have enough of them. So that'll help a lot for bossing, as well as for skilling, because you can just unnote all of your gems,
Yeah.
cut them, renote them, and then just continually do that. So that'll help a lot. The other one there is Fire Sale, and so that's makes it so all the shops that use coins, so make sure to take that into account. So the tackle shops and stuff like
Yeah.
that don't count. If they use coins, everything there is free.
I was gonna say that wouldn't be the worst idea if you were able to get to tier 3 quickly for your dragon longsword.
Yeah.
But also Banker's Note is just gonna be huge later, I think.
Fire Sale is really, really good. Like, if you think about it, like, you can buy unlimited gems, you can buy unlimited runes.
Wow. And armor early on. You buy
Yeah,
armor
unlimited. You
early.
can buy the blessed d'hide, or not blessed d'hide, regular green d'hide and rune armor is available in the Champions Guild from level 1. It's a pre-unlock, so you could buy that for free as well once you get that.
Yeah, one thing to note though is that shops will no longer buy items for gold.
Yes. So if you need GP for anything else, well, you gotta go do
yeah,
something
go
else.
do the agility
Yeah,
pyramid.
something else. And then finally, the last part of my plan is to unlock Brawler's Resolve. That is
yes.
my main goal, because my main goal is to do combat related things.
Yeah, and this is the
So
tier 4 relic.
this is the tier 4 relic. You can choose between Archer, Sorcerer, and Brawler, obviously being Mage, range, and melee,
Yes.
depending on what you want to focus on. I'm going to be focusing on Brawler's Resolve, which is melee, and I'm going to be unlocking in this order Desert, Asgarnia, and then Mauritania,
Yeah.
which has constantly been evolving, but I think that's what I'm settled on. I want to do TOA and I want to do Theater of Blood, and I think Torva is going to be really worth a lot, especially with access to the Warriors Guild,
Yeah.
So really, really important. So that's kind of what I'm going for. At the end of it, I don't know exactly all the other stuff I'm going to get for relics, because we don't really know what all of them are. The only one that we know is the very last one, tier 8. These are the strongest ones in the
Yeah, the
game.
tier 8 ones are crazy.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna get Guardian.
You tell them what Guardian is?
Guardian, you essentially summon a thrall, which is like your homie. He's insane. So essentially,
He's immortal, first of all.
he's immortal. Lasts perpetually, 30 minutes, but you can resummon for free. Also has a max hit of 15, can hit multiple enemies, has high accuracy, uses all combat styles, and yeah, I mean, what else can I say? He's just a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah, he's great.
But yeah, I'm excited to hear which one you're gonna go for.
I know.
As far as this, we would go over tiers 5, 6, and 7, but we do not know exactly what they are.
Tier 6, you know what you're going to do, actually.
Tier 6,
They haven't announced the other stuff, but he thinks he knows
I'm
what he's gonna
almost
choose.
certain I'm gonna choose Ruinous Powers, but I don't know what the other ones are.
So you could change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
maybe in like the middle of leagues, we'll do like another update video talking about more.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
we'll see.
We'll probably just have a wrap up video.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But that is my plans. Yeah, so that's all my notes. The only thing I have as an extra separate note is wait for mass production / mass gathering,
Mhm.
because tiers 5 and 6 are going to help a lot, or tiers 5 is going to help a lot potentially
Yeah.
with Infernal Gathering, because in previous leagues that was really, really helpful for gathering, and also waiting for mass production so that I don't like spend a lot of time producing things when I don't have a lot to produce
Mhm.
anyways. So kind of just like something for me to focus on.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Mainly just focusing on tasks with a little bit of an early game plan going into it.
And what rank do you want? Do you have a goal for your rank?
Honestly, I just want to get at least adamant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, yeah, sure, I want dragon, but it's like,
Will you get dragon?
we'll have to see how realistic they set the points for the requirement.
I think because they're setting it, you have to get to a certain amount of points. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
Like crazy amount
it
of
might be
points.
very high. It's not going to be the top 1% like in the past, or the 0.1%, whatever it is. But I do think it'll still be very, very high.
Yeah, especially with holidays coming up and we have plans and things.
Yeah, exactly. But we will have time off for Christmas. Everyone will.
True.
Hopefully.
Time to grind.
Yes, exactly. But that is my plan. What about you?
Okay, I hate it, but my plan is very similar. My plan, it's more it's not as like detailed as his. I also plan on doing quest at first, but that's just like a given. I don't have a list of quests I'm going to do. I was probably going to follow the optimal quest guide, like in the areas I can't do, and just Mistland and Karamja, and just like do those a bit, because I do want to get like my levels up. I think I'm also going to, in tier 1, start out with the production prodigy as well, just because, spoiler alert, I also intend to unlock Asgarnia in the melee one, and I want to be able to like make Torva and stuff like that. So I think it'd be easier to level that up quickly and like jewelry level up quickly. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could unlock much jewelry, to be fair, but whatever I can,
Yeah.
you know, I want to be able to make the best stuff that I can
What
immediately.
made you change your mind? Because until this morning, you were planning on doing ranged or mage.
Yeah. I actually wanted to do melee in the first place, but Robert told me he wanted to do melee, and I was like, I want to do something different. And what made me change my mind back to melee is because we were talking on the phone earlier. We both decided that we want to do Taub, and I just think melee with like the 2-tick scythe later,
Yeah.
it's just like
Anyone
you can't beat that.
anyone that listens to the podcast knows that theater has always been my favorite raid.
It's his favorite. It's not my favorite, but also like I recognize that I need practice in it. So I think it'd be a good idea to go there. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. So I'm gonna do like all those skills and stuff. And I'm also going to unlock the desert second. I don't know if I'm gonna do the agility pyramid, honestly, because I just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
But I probably will go and do some TOA and hopefully get a Fang and a Light Bear. And once I have those two, I
Pretty strong.
pretty strong. And I think that I would maybe do some clues to try to get god items because next I want to also unlock Asgarnia and go to Asgarnia and get
Speaking of necks,
yeah, speaking of next, go to Asgarnia and go to Bandos to get Bandos and then using that going into Nex and hopefully upgrading to Torva. And I would like ideally to have Torva to take me into my final place, which will be Taub.
yeah,
And that'd be, I mean, that's like the plan. It sounds easier said than done. I also want to practice doing Nightmare and I want to learn how to do Fasanis for
yeah.
sure. And I think I'm going to do some Inferno attempts as well.
And for anyone that's wondering, like, it seems like we're taking certain areas because we're talking about focusing on melee. That's kind of generally a good idea, regardless of what you end up picking. Like, for instance, if you pick ranged, you might want to get the desert and Corinne because you'll have max range gear
Yeah,
available to
I
you.
was originally going to choose Corinne whenever I was doing range, but then we decided that we both wanted to top together. So I was like, all right, well, there's no point of doing Corinne and like melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, or doing ranged with Mauritania. So I switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, and it is important, I guess, to kind of feed into whatever, if your focus is combat, obviously,
Yeah.
to feed into whatever combat style you choose because it pretty much makes most best in slot weapons 2 ticks, which
Yes.
is twice as fast as normal.
Yeah, the T-bow, Shadow, and Scythe are gonna be crazy fast.
Yeah, and all of the charges they use will be reduced by 90%, even
Mhm.
if it is melee or anything like that. So
Yeah.
they're going to be a lot more usable, a lot more hits. So I mean, that's going to be 8 hits, 8 hits every 4 ticks instead of four
Yeah.
for the scythe, which is a lot, a lot of hits. So that's pretty cool. But honestly, I think they balance the relics in such a way that there's really no wrong direction for anyone to go. I've been looking at them
Yeah.
and seeing what other people are going, and honestly, it's kind of hard to say.
It's like an even playing field, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you might have some like advantages early if you're going to like get a fire cape with range,
Of
obviously,
course.
because that with a 2 tick rune crossbow is going to be, really good.
Yeah.
Or obviously, if you're using like a magic short bow, still really good. So
Mhm.
you're gonna have an advantage there over melee,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
But I mean, it kind of all evens out in the end.
Yeah.
So it depends on what kind of content you want to do as well.
True.
And there is a bunch of like like we mentioned tier 1, 2, and 3, but there is, like we said, well,
There's
tier 4.
8.
Yeah, so there's still tier 5, 6, and 7, and 6 and 5 both have like skilling
Yeah.
relics that we can't really go over because they're not revealed yet. But
Mhm.
for anyone that's interested in just skilling, you can also take that into account.
Yeah. I'm also undecided if I'm going to play on my main or if I should just play on my hardcore. So my cash stack's just gone like kind of, it's dwindling on the main. So I'm wondering if
Yeah.
I should just try to find some AFK money makers. I'm undecided on that. But as for the relics, like I'm definitely going to, in tier 1, choose that one production prodigy. For tier 2, the teleportation one, I'm actually leaning towards Fairy's Flights.
Yeah.
I was originally going to do Globetrotter, the one with like all the jewelry and spellbook tellies, but I didn't notice before until you actually said it. I did not notice that it said the tool leprechaun.
They buffed it this time.
Yeah. And I do a lot of farming. I know there's leprechauns everywhere.
Yeah, that'll help.
So
That'll help a lot with farming as well as yeah, getting to different
yeah.
locations.
Even with like a house with all the tellies, I use my spirit tree and fairy ring all the time as well. So I'm very comfortable with those teleports. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get those. And of course, like I could still like make jewelry and stuff if I really want to get the
Yeah.
other tellies. For tier 3, that one is the Banker's Note Fire Sale. I'm definitely gonna do Banker's Note. Like, I would love to choose something different from you here, but Banker's Note is just so busted, especially wanting to focus on PVM. Being able to note and unnote and just bring a huge stack of food, like,
Yeah.
it's like unbeatable in my opinion.
Yeah. Again, it's like kind of like what you want to do. It would make like crafting impossibly easy. Same
Yeah.
thing with construction. You know, you could just buy infinite trees for construction or infinite gems for crafting or any of the like glass blowing stuff for
Mm-hmm.
free. So it's really good. Fire sale is really good. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people are taking it.
No,
So
I definitely like it. Mine's especially because I want to do a lot of learning this time around in leagues. I
yeah.
need as many supplies as I can get, so that sounds ideal. Tier 4, of course, I'm gonna be choosing the Brawler's Resolve. Copying you, sorry.
Yeah. What are you gonna do
Uh,
for tier 8?
Tier 8. So the Guardian seems cool, right? But I'm actually thinking I'm gonna do Undying Retribution.
Okay.
Yeah,
So for anyone that doesn't know, tier 8, this is the highest tier and it has 3 offerings
yeah.
like most of the other
This is where he
tiers.
said he's gonna do the Super Thrall.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Guardian the Super Thrall. There is Executioner, which just straight up kills any enemy that has less than 20% health. It is an execute.
That's really good.
Very, very strong. It shows that you can hit Olm for like 180 damage because he has so much health. So that is really strong. But the one you chose,
Yeah,
I was
so
not expecting it.
this one says upon death, instantly be revived with full hit points, and on death, deal damage to nearby opponents in a 5x5 area centered around the player, able to deal significant damage. Like an example they have is to Jad. It could deal 168 damage if you died to Jad. Deaths from Undying Retribution procs don't count towards death penalties in raids as well, so it won't mess up your points at all. So it won't affect your purple chance.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the other two, but now that I'm doing Tob and I'm going to focus more on learning, I think that the unlimited life thing would be huge.
Yeah,
Like,
having 2
yeah,
lives
just being brought back
is
to
really good.
life is just massive. I don't even know if it's 2 lives. It doesn't say that there's a limit. I wonder if you could just keep dying.
You think you could just never die?
I mean, maybe.
You think there's gonna be no cooldown? You could just never die?
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe.
But I think that'd be really good, especially practicing Inferno. Like, I've died in Inferno runs to some very dumb things. So
Yeah.
just knowing that I wouldn't, like, die to a meleeer in wave 20 something wouldn't just cost me, like, all my time. That would be great. And Fasani's as well. I need to learn that, and I know nothing. So
Yeah,
I
that'll
think
help.
it would be the best for my learning. Even though the other ones are so busted and sound so fun. It makes
You
sense
can
for
only
me.
choose one, unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all seem really good. But I think that is pretty much it for most of our plans.
Yeah, that's our little plan. We'll see. I mean, if you want to hear how our plans are going, we do have our podcast, Bunebape, where we are talk about our own updates every week at the beginning of the episode. So you can check out there to see if we actually stuck to our plans.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will be doing more league related videos during the league or after the league. I won't
Yeah.
promise that because sometimes we get burnt out or get distracted. Last leagues.
Yeah.
We stopped after 2 weeks.
True. This is
But,
very true.
Oh, but yeah, I also am going to try and get at least Adamant. I really want Dragon. But if I get Dragon, I'm going to have to play my hardcore. Like, there's no way I could do that on my main.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I haven't brought this up to
Oh.
Shell. To you.
Yeah.
But I do think it's kind of cool to keep it as a surprise.
Okay.
But besides a few days where I just straight up will not be available, I plan on making content very often.
Like videos?
Yeah, like following my journey. Because I haven't played games in a little over a month,
Mhm.
kind of. And so I am really excited to get back into leagues. So
Cool.
with that, I'm going to kind of do updates. So if you want to see me follow or not follow my plan, then I should have videos out almost not daily, but fairly regularly. So you can follow the
Wow.
progression, see what I did wrong. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of lessons
Oh,
learned, but
yes.
I think that'll be kind of cool to like follow along and
I'm
see
excited.
what I end up doing.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll be like doing good videos, but because I stream on Twitch, I was thinking that maybe I'll just upload some VODs of progress from like cool things that happen. And I
Yeah.
always make YouTube shorts too of things that go on. So
Yeah, and
all
I
those
don't
too.
I don't plan on playing a ton, mostly because I work full time.
And
So,
yeah, and you're studying for things.
yeah, and I'm still gonna maintain my regular lifestyle for the most part. So it'll be kind of interesting because it'll be like just a regular human being's
Yeah, just
take on the league.
the average guy's league experience.
Yeah, obviously more on the weekends, but yeah, during the week I'll only have like an hour to an hour and a half to play the game.
I'm very interested in see what you could do at that time.
Yeah,
I know you're a
so
gamer.
expect
You could do a
expect
lot.
more short videos because I probably won't have a ton to reveal.
That's okay. That's cool. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully, this helped someone out, or
Hmm.
maybe you just enjoyed listening to what we plan on doing.
Or maybe you want to comment saying how our choices are the dumbest choices ever.
Yeah, also let us know that. And if you enjoy this, let us know. Maybe make more content like this in the future. But thanks for watching. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it.
And we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.